Here, what's up, guys? Happy Sunday. What a Sunday stream, man. Baseball is close, ain't it? I'm Gunn, joined by John Cena on a special edition of the PrizePicks NBA main slate prop show, brought to you by ODDSJAM. If you're not on ODDSJAM, check out the link below. Get over there. The tool's really good, and the line shopping so convenient. We're going to be perusing through the board tonight, referencing ODDSJAM, referencing some on-off court tools, and then of course hopefully landing on some really sharp picks. I'm just kidding. Josh is going to be here just a couple minutes. He is literally on his way to the lab, the literal lab. None of that figurative lab stuff. So, but we are so crunched for time. Main slate starting an hour early. I told him I just got to go live. When you get here, we'll pipe you in. So we'll get you in, and we'll get all the regular stuff knocked out. What up to the live chat? Mia Moore, Conscious, Mock Wall, Chris Smith says already starting bad. Brunson not covering first half points for 250. No. What up, Exit Screaming? What up, Skimmer, Brody? Brunson just needs to hit a 3-pointer, get fouled, and make the free throw. That's it. That's all he needs, you know? He'll be all right. How you guys doing? Happy WrestleMania Sunday. You guys enjoying the weekend of wrestling? Tomorrow there's no basketball, so if you're wondering why the heck did I just get a notification that Gunn is streaming on a Sunday, well, it's because there's no basketball tomorrow in honor of the NCAA championship game. So since there was nothing tomorrow, decided to trade the days, especially since yesterday was just kind of a uncoverable slate. Not even uncoverable, but like not convenient to cover. It's just 3 games on the main. So I was like, all right, we'll do something on Sunday. We'll take Monday off. I'll use it as a maintenance day, off day, but also tighten some stuff up for baseball, because we do get baseball later this week. And then the grind is double duty for at least a week or two heading into the first round of the playoffs. So lots of stuff to talk about. Hey, some news today on today's games. First of all, LeBron James was just rolled out not too long ago. So if you guys were getting some stake in LeBron James, go ahead and unstake it. He will be out, although Anthony Davis will be in. Also, we learned that Jimmy Butler will be out tonight in his game. So we know that will immediately make us interested in maybe some Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. Those props not up yet. So we will hopefully get that within the next hour or so while we're on this show. And then just perusing through some of the bigger news. I know the Suns had some rest going game by game here. We had Joel Embiid questionable, keeping a big eye on that. The Knicks, Julius Randle, likely done for the season, right? Their game against the Magic, kind of a meager total. Any other big news that we had jotted down that we need to track? The Suns are the big one. No Ayton, no Crowder, no Devin Booker. Not sure why Chris Paul is playing. I guess get his reps up. Still massive favorites here for the Suns. Expect big fantasy points for the next man up, JaVale McGee. We've seen him have massive games in these wonky times of the season. Remember last year? Was it last year where JaVale McGee had a 70 fantasy point game? And one of the things about JaVale McGee is he does. He accrues a lot of blocks. Let's see, JaVale McGee, most FTP by game log in career. Pretty sure he had like a 70 bomb last year. Yeah, 75. Can you believe that? It was in 2019. Included 6 blocks. He's also had a 12 block game. So this would be a really intriguing matchup tonight against the Thunder, who allow a top 2 amount of blocks per game. Probably the most when Ja Morant's not on the court, right? We got, as I mentioned, Jimmy Butler out for that game. The Warriors list Steph Curry out still. Iggy out in their game against the Kings. Big comeback for them against the Jazz to get that dub. Clippers will have Paul George. And that's all I got to say about that. How about that? A little stone cold. I believe that's topical. Can't wait for Pat McAfee's match. That'll be interesting. I like Pat McAfee. Man, what a like incredible utility person is Pat McAfee, right? And just a captivating podcast, extremely great commentator. And you put him in the ring, he just knows, he just has it, and he knows it, and he knows how to have it. Yeah. What up, Fish? What up, Hey Ronzo? Hey, you guys are in that free Discord, right? The free Discord has been on fire today. I slept in, but I looked over at my phone, and you guys did not, man. Absolutely crushing it, the group research. Last night, since we didn't do a live stream, I did post my projections, not my picks, but my projections. And then I only had 4 picks for PrizePicks last night. And luckily, they all hit, although Kyrie Irving sure made it a sweat down the stretch. So, really good Saturday night, even though it was a light Saturday night. And I'm hoping we carry the momentum into tonight. We can sit on a dub for a day or two. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday, we kind of close out the season strong. Should be a lot of wonky games, a lot of rotations. And then we'll double down with some MLB, man. I've got like an extremely packed schedule this week, content all over the place. So you guys stay along for the ride, and you can be updated for everything I'm doing in the free Discord, but also in the RunDFS.com Discord. A lot of you guys taking advantage of the MLB Pass, which will only be up a couple more days. So be sure to lock that in there, man. What up, Thomas? What about a Eubanks bounce back spot? Potentially, yeah. A lot of minutes for those guys. Pat's the actual guy. I love Pat McAfee so much. AD over 9.5 rebounds seems nice. They left, or they have those props still up. Last I looked, oh, yeah, they do. Check that out. Oh, okay. Yeah, 9.5 rebounds seems nice. And they list as double-double, too, which we know better, right? There's no reason to take that. We can just take the 10 rebounds. Westbrook's listed at 7.5 assists. Okay, we got some. Okay, all right, we can work with this. We'll do some on-off court. So that game's not on this slate, right? That's 240, so that's about to happen. So I'll tell you what, let me look at the on-off for the Lakers so far this season and see if we can get a lean. But I would agree with you. It seems like that rebound prop for AD is live. You guys know the deal with the Lakers, right? They're dead, but they're not out. But after resting LeBron, they're pretty much probably out. Let's put Davis on the court. Let's put Westy on the court. Let's take off LeBron. See what numbers we're working with. You need to end every show with "that's the bottom line." Nah, Jason. That's gimmick infringement. Nah, shout out to Stone Cold, man. He he wasn't going. His gears were slipping, but man, it was a beautiful thing. We've got a 16% of it just adjusted. Yeah, 15% of total rebound opportunities. He has a 21% defensive rebound rate in this split, 27% usage rate, 1.3 fantasy point per minute. So yeah, certainly no pushback on AD to get those rebounds, but perhaps maybe no pushback on AD to clear an impending fantasy projection that has not hit yet. 37.5 PR is intriguing, though we know he can throw in some blocks to make it worth it. And then 7.5 assists for Westbrook. Westbrook in this split had a 35% assist rate, so I might be intrigued in that over. Assuming this is not a full wonky Lakers game with the situation at hand. Although, why are we showing LeBron here if I've taken him off the court? This is 581 minutes. Let me rerun this because something's a little fishy about that, right? You and Coach Slate, yeah, we do have Coach in about an hour. Hopefully, we can get Josh piped in here in a couple minutes, and it won't take that long. But I think what the plan will be is for me and Josh to attack some of the core props for the slate, and then I'll try and run it back with Coach and have Josh sit in. But man, we are so strapped for time today that I'm hoping we could speed it up. The main slate locks an hour prior to usual starting time, so a lot to cram in here. All right, so yeah, now it looks a little better. Almost a 40% assist rate on the season for Westbrook without LeBron, with AD on the court, and then AD with his numbers checked out. 21% defensive rebound. So yeah, I wouldn't mind, I guess, mathematically correlating LBG or AD anything. Rebounds sound nice. I would like the fantasy points, and then maybe some Westbrook assists, makes a lot of sense. So if you are looking at that Lakers game, which is not on the main slate, I don't do it. The real okay fish. That'll be a fun one. I do like that 3.5 assists for Monk. I don't mind it. Feeling much better. Oh yeah, shout out to Fish with the Rona beatdown, but not Rona. It was just a sickness, right?
Bing bang.
The real GOAT would not sit with his team one game out of the playoffs.
Hey, you said it, not me. Huh? Scott Hall used to say that. Hey, you said it, not me. Oh man, he must really be hurt. He must really be hurt. Appreciate that 10, Fish. Glad you're feeling better. Kevin Porter Jr. over 7.5 assists. Yeah, that game's looking pretty fun. 7.5, huh? Rockets and T-Wolves, fast-paced matchup. I currently, let's see what we have Porter at. Porter. You said it, not me. I'm at 6.5, but I'm willing to jazz that up due to the pace of this one. Yeah, what up, Mike? Big Mike. Yo, Mike been killing it this weekend. Those screenshots from not only Mike in the Cats in the Free Discord, but Mike was killing it in the Premium Discord, and so did Josh. Josh the other night. You guys heard that Kevin Durant bad beat story, which he kind of ran it back with LeBron James, who was at 50, then moved to 51, and then didn't clear 51. But even Josh made up for it, so that was good to see. Anyway, I guess I don't know. Traffic must just be crazy in California today. 101, 10 minutes. So I guess I will just jump into it. Ain't the real one, man? Y'all are hating on the GOAT. Sorry. Hey, Fish, what Jimmy Butler doing today, Fish? What Jimmy doing? You're not trying to lock in the 1 seed, is he? Oh man, I love it. All right, Sixers at the Cavs. So keep an eye on the status of Joel Embiid. Bring up Philly here. Joel Embiid was listed officially as questionable. Now, they are still favorites here. So do wonder if he's closer to in than out. Not that I think they would not be favorites without him, but it is something to watch. Left ankle soreness. It is night 2 of a back-to-back. It says there's a chance that Embiid stays on the sidelines to nurse some ankle soreness. If that's the case, Sixers will likely use a few different guys to make up for Embiid's absence. Last time, they relied on Paul Millsap and DeAndre Jordan. We're both long past their days of fantasy relevance. Shout out to NBC Sports Edge for that blurb. And then on the Cavs side, the usual outs, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and probably not Rajon Rondo. We shall see. So Darius Garland and the Cavs, more so Darius Garland, have been playing some pretty big minutes. And Garland has logged games up to 40 minutes as of late, 36 against the Knicks, just 30 in the lopsided game against Atlanta. Scoreboard seems like it influenced that one, but if this game's going to be competitive and live up to a 3-point spread, it seems very, very possible that Darius Garland would get himself near 40 minutes of action today, and his assist rate has been nuts, almost 40+%. So I do like the thought of Darius Garland assist prop. If we can get it at below 10, I imagine it's going to be at 10.5 just to start. It's at 9. Yeah, I'd be a buyer at Darius Garland, 9 assists. So let's get some typing going, and let's put Darius Garland 9 assists. And then, of course, that would probably be a little bit more of a competitive game once we knew for sure that if we knew that Embiid was out, you know. We in first, and it is the Raptors. I mean, okay, sleeping on the Raptors. Raptors getting hot. What up, blah? I don't know. Why am I getting tagged on Discord? It's a NASCAR. Okay, shout out to if you guys are RunDFS.com VIP. Looks like Smeezy's got some NASCAR fire waiting for you. All right, so we'll jot down Garland assists. I'll kind of wait on the Embiid news. I feel like he's going to be closer to in and out from this far out, but if he can't go, obviously that's going to open up James Harden everything, and they don't have any Sixers prop here, so something to be cognitive of. Magic and the Knicks. No Julius Randle, so I immediately want to see what's offered by or for RJ Barrett. And then in that front court, Obi Toppin and Mitchell Robinson look like they could benefit in the absence of Julius Randle. So real quick, what are we getting on the Knicks here? RJ Barrett, nothing. All right, cool. Not touching the Magic, not even with your bankroll. They are full-on tanking. T-Wolves at the Rockets. So this is a 13.5-point spread in favor of the T-Wolves. So because of that massive spread and how bad the Rockets have been on defense and how good the Timberwolves have been on offense and on defense for that matter, I think I'd be shopping some of these first half props for the T-Wolves, kind of see what's available. So I want to bring up Timberwolves overall and see. We've got Cat at no fantasy points, just regular stats. 10.5 rebounds feels light. 41.5 PRA, 5.5 free throws, 25.5 points. I have Cat in a spot to explode, but of course everything involved with this game is going to rely on it staying competitive. And do we have anything for NBA first half? Do they even have yeah, there we go, right here. That was a little weird. So I got Cat 12.5 first half points. If that's the only thing that they post for that, I'd probably be a buyer, especially against the Rockets. So I'm definitely going to jot that down. But I would be curious to see what they offer for fantasy points. Karl-Anthony Towns, 12.5 first half points. So we'll put that down in the blender. I love centers against the Rockets. Massive, massive spot. And nothing else to really impede or shake up the rest of the lineup to feel extra confident on D-Russ and Edwards, but it is such a plus matchup for everyone involved. Usually the pushback with Cat is he is top 3 in the league and fouls for 36. Maybe against this front court, Jay Shante, Alperen Şengün, we don't have to worry about that as much, and we know Cat's rotation can be pretty wonky, right? He's got that, I think he's got one of those full first quarter gigs that Embiid does. No, okay, most of the first quarter comes in the second quarter. If he can stay out of foul trouble, he'll finish it. Look at that Raptors game. Similar thing, most of the first quarter, second half of the second quarter, and the Celtics, most of the first quarter, second. All right, so I like his first half minute rotation, so I really like that 12.5 real point prop. If they can give us a fantasy prop or fantasy prop of less than 25, that would be great. Assuming that he's going to be over a point per minute, and he gets, on average, let's see, what are we looking here? 8.5 minutes there. Probably left 7 minutes there. If he can get 15 to 16 to 17 first half minutes, I like him to be almost 25 fantasy points or better. So I'd be looking for 25 or less, and that would make me feel better. AD will play. All right, let's bring Josh up in here. It looks like he's ready to go. Here, what up, Steve Leibowitz? Happy Sunday to you guys, and those of you that I don't normally see on Sundays. Here.
Hey, sorry about that.
Traffic.
No, I got caught up and I fell like 10-15 minutes behind.
Oh, okay. So I'm currently talking about Cat and how I'd be
All right.
interested in his first half props right now. All I got is 12. I have 12.5 real points for his first half. They don't have any fantasy scores yet, but that's all I got.
Is this because of foul trouble and blowout potential?
I'm not as worried about foul trouble in this spot, but blowout potential, absolutely.
He crushed in his first half, and he comes out really strong in the first quarter, so it makes sense.
100%.
I mean, You said, so they don't have fancy, but yeah, I'm with you on the real points too. He's really efficient in the first half.
Yeah, 12.5 seems very, very doable. Did you like anything on the Rockets today? The T-Wolves have been. I mean, this is two fastest teams essentially in basketball, so it should be a track meet. We got 244 totals. Even with the Rockets, being on the wrong side of a 13-point spread, they'll probably still score well over 100 points. Somebody had asked earlier about Kevin Porter Jr. 7.5 assists. My projections only had him at like 6.5, but when we think about what we've been targeting for the Rockets lately, we have been looking at KPJ fantasy points. We've definitely been looking at Jalen Green real points, and then Şengün looks like he's gonna play today, so it doesn't. We don't get that free defense from Garuba that we've been attacking with Damian Jones, but maybe Jalen Green real points. But anything on KPJ?
Yeah, with Şengün back, I could definitely get on KBJ's assist. That's even more assist opportunity for him. With Şengün, the pick and roll and being down low, and Cat's someone not to be too scared of. I'm really interested in, now that they brought back Jalen Green's 3-point prop. Can he keep this up? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, he's shooting 10 to 15 threes a game, and I mean 2 games in a row he shot 6 of 14 from 3. There's always opportunity for regression at any point, but it's a fast-paced matchup. There's going to be a lot more shots going around. You got the 2 fastest teams. I mean, this is the game today, so...
The game, yeah.
The game, 100%. But, he's also aggressive, and he's driving a lot and, getting easy layups and dunks. So I'm kind of on the fence. What do you think? 3-point made or points?
I love this 3. If you're going to shoot 14 threes a game in a track meet, I'm in. I mean, I just take my chances on it. And the T-Wolves, they actually give up quite a bit of threes per game. And I think, a lot of it is immediately associated with how fast they run. But you look at points via the 3-ball allowed, Minnesota is top 6 in points via the 3-ball. So I'm fine with letting Jalen Green chunk it and taking a shot at him in 4 of 14 to 15, 16 of those shots. So I'm in on that. I think you could sell me on KPJ's assist, especially if a lot of those Jalen Green threes can come off of KPJ pass. But I think we talked about how they don't seem to be running a lot of plays, right? Whoever gets the ball running up court, and your turn. Right. So I'm with that. So I jotted down Cat first half real points. I'd be in on fantasy points if they post it. I'm looking for something under 25, and then KPJ 7.5 assists, Jalen Green 3.5 threes. And by the way, from the previous game, Josh, I had Darius Garland 9 assists. We don't know if Joel Embiid's going to be playing yet, but somebody asked 3 points for Cat. What do they got for Cat? T-Wolves. Cat is at. They don't have 3 points. 3 points for Cat. 3 points for Cat.
Probably on the books, right?
I don't know. Oh, is that Thomas? Are you talking about what's on the sports book? If so, we can go use our friends at ODDSJAM, bust open that game. By the way, I am curious to see if they have 3-pointers made line on Jalen Green, so we can kind of cross-reference what we are looking at here. So, Jalen Green, 3.5, slight juice on the over, but there's some spots that are juiced more on the under. It just depends on where you're shopping. But I like the over. Perfect line is 117 on the over. So let's lay a little bit on that. So what's the best line here? Superbook at even money. Boom, $100 unit. Boom, on the over. All right. 3 points for Cat. I guess he's asking if Cat's gonna hit 3-pointers for sportsbook. So while we're here, let's look at Cat. Cat's listed at 1.5 with massive juice on the over, depending on where you're shopping, and some plus money on the over. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's probably not something I'm running to, but a Cat can shoot threes, 7, 1, 3. But if your line, Tom, is 1.5, I mean it's a coin flip. I wouldn't be against it, but the path of least resistance is everywhere on the Rockets, so it's not one of those spots where I specifically think they need him to chuck threes. But sure, at plus money, why not? But it's not something I'm on. Let's see what else we got here.
What about Sengun? Did you talk about him?
I didn't talk about him. I do have him projected for 36 fantasy points. Looking at what's on the line for the Rockets, they have a Sengun. They don't have fantasy points for anything. Now that I'm I keep
probably drop later. Probably.
Let's see, fantasy score. I mean, they have some, but literally as big as this slate is, Josh, 8, 12. They have 13 fantasy point props on the entire day. That's it. It's like the whole league is playing tonight, and they have 13 players with fantasy props.
Yeah, we've seen this before on a Sunday. I don't know if you remember. We've seen where the fantasy scores took a long time to drop.
Yeah.
Oh. So maybe they have some dude that doesn't work on Sundays who does the fantasy projection.
I've been saying I think the best. It seems like the weakest points on PrizePicks is their fantasy score and their free throws made, because those aren't readily offered elsewhere, and maybe
except when they juice the guy by 1 fantasy point and it gets you.
Well, Sengun's kind of one of those guys I'd be really liking fantasy point prop on, but they don't have that. They did give us 3 assists, 14.5 real points, 8.5 boards, 26.5 PRA.
What's your PRA for him?
All right, well, I'll show you what my PRA for Sengun is. Let's go to Player Props tab in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. I've got him at 24.5 PRA, so that would be slightly under. And then if we go check out the PRA line via ODDSJAM, PRA for Sengun, they got the book is at 106 or 26.5 with juice on the under. So kind of meeting them. I guess the world is on the under, not the world, but the juice is on the under 26.5 right now. So I would rather see fantasy points if I
but I guess my only concern is we've seen the Rockets.
This is the greatest tragic Bronson alert of all time right here,
Tragic Bronson alert. I forgot that this is the thing. Yo, Paul, appreciate that. Welcome to the members club. The members club. That sounds weird. What's the gun club? That's probably also unfortunate. Thank you for becoming a channel member, Paul Whitlock. Tragic Bronson alert says, thanks for everything, guys. Listen to both of y'all projections. Yesterday came up $200 last night. I know it's not much compared to what I'm sure others. Hey man, hey, that's awesome, man. Balling on the budget. Keep grinding. My bad, Josh. That just kind of cut me off, and I knew they weren't going to be able to hear you, so I didn't want you to waste breath. What you got?
I do have some reservations. The only hold up on this game, I want to lock and load it, but we've seen recently with the Rockets, they are a tank team, and they are a team with young guys. They do want to develop. However, we've seen them. They will bench their starters pretty early on in a game if it's out of hand. So, if you are targeting guys for their fantasy points, full game, and maybe even real points, there is range of outcomes where they don't touch the court in the fourth quarter, and you're gonna lose out on these full game props because they are the full game props are juiced in this fast paced matchup.
Yeah.
So that would be my only holdback with guys like Sengun, and even like if you want to do Jalen Green full points.
I think I'm so stuck on his threes that
he can get that done in a half in the first half because he's gonna chuck them nonstop. So
like I was just looking at his his shot volume for three is pretty dumb, but also just seems like he's not gonna hit his real point prop unless he hits his 3-point prop. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right, 30 points. He's scoring 18 from 3 last couple of games. Without that 18, he's not clearing 26, right? So I just think it makes a little bit more sense to go after that 3-point prop, in my opinion.
Yeah. This no, I'm with you on that. He can get that done in 3 quarters, even if he doesn't touch the court in the fourth. Yeah, I'm concerned about the blowout. Obviously, what do you think? Do you think we should maybe tread lightly with the full game props?
I only wrote down KPJ assists, Jalen Green 3.5 threes,
okay.
And Cat. I was zoomed in on Cat's first half anyway. I think it's fair to attack first half for the T-Wolves here, but Cat's really the guy that stands out the most to me.
Yeah.
If they offered something that was a little light on Patrick Beverley, like if the blocks and steals popped up, certainly a massive matchup for that. But right now the board is kind of thin. They got Beverley at 18.5 PRA. 4 assists, 9.5. I want some of his defensive upside in action tonight. So hopefully the board broadens and gets a little bit stronger. Right now it's kind of weak. And it's one of those big spread games. Speaking of big spread games, a lot of big spread games on the slate. Like the two next games in my spreadsheet are Spurs 14.5 point home favorites against the Blazers, and the Suns resting everybody except Chris Paul, 14-point favorites against the Thunder. So we're dealing with lopsided games today. With the Spurs, if I looked at a 14.5 point spread, Spurs of course are above the Lakers now. Lakers look like they're dang near giving up on the season. I'd be wanting some access to DeJounte Murray. There are no Spurs props right now, and I'd be looking for DeJounte Murray first half under 25, 26 fantasy points. So nothing there on the Suns and Thunder game. Looking at what's on the board for hiccup, I'm drunk for the Suns, nothing. So that's unfortunate. So it's really not much to talk about. On the Thunder, nothing. So I don't think we're putting any stake on the Thunder. One of those tanking teams we're just kind of staying away from. But for the Suns, if they posted something below 40 fantasy points for Chris Paul, I'd be thinking about it, especially if they gave us that first half prop. And then JaVale McGee, I'd be willing to go to a stupid number today on JaVale McGee, Josh. This is the ultimate spot for a guy like JaVale McGee. No Ayton. I figure him and Bismack Biyombo probably split some minutes down the stripe. And for JaVale McGee's strengths, his blocks, like this is a massive spot for blocks. The Oklahoma City Thunder give up amongst the most blocks per game in the league. So I was talking, before you came on, I was talking about how in years past we've seen McGee drop 60 and 70 fantasy points, 5+ block games. Would not be stunned if we get one of those 15-point floors from JaVale McGee in this spot against a complete tank job of a Thunder team. So if we got some JaVale McGee under 30 fantasy points, under 25 would be a lock. But if they did give us something under 30, I'd really have to think about getting JaVale McGee props. But
what was wrong with him? Why was he out the last few games?
McGee, I don't know. He was out for a decent stretch.
Was it illness or was it injury?
Illness was the most recent designation. Okay. So
hopefully it's nothing to deal with his asthma issues. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more, see what's going on with them. Because I would hate it like if he comes in and plays like 16, 18 minutes. But I mean, he could still crush it in that. But yeah, I want to figure out.
So he played 22 minutes on the first against Memphis, if that makes you feel a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. But we don't have props for the game, so we don't need to spend too much time here. Also, I don't know if you caught it while you were driving to the lab. Jimmy Butler got ruled out for tonight, joining Gabe Vincent, and they also have Martin questionable. When Jimmy's out, we're looking for Lowry, Adebayo, Tyler Hero. Larry's kind of a love-hate relationship, right? I know he's on your list. Hero's an intriguing click. We know if the line's low enough for him, he's been building that case for six man, and it's kind of a uncontested race. He's going to win six man of the year, and then Bam Adebayo has certainly shown us a lot of usage and a lot of potential ball handling upside in the absence of Jimmy Butler. So first of all, before we do too much research, let's pull up the Heat. They did give us some Heat props, and we don't have any fantasy lines, it looks like, but we do have some other individual lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the on-off court tool via add more funds, and I'm going to pull up the Miami Heat. And we're just going to take Jimmy off the court. We're going to put Bam on the court. And I guess we'll put Lowry on the court. Little back-to-back revenge narratives for Lowry. How do you feel about that? DeRozan yesterday, right? And then, or DeRozan in the recent game. I think that was yesterday, right? And then now the Raptors. A little emotional weekend for Mr. Lowry. So we'll put Lowry on the court. Adebayo. Jimmy's off. I'm coming home. Lowry gets a 29% assist rate in this split. Bam gets a 27% usage rate in this split. And when Hero comes and goes, he's going to hold a 25+% usage rate. So the other thing to look at for Adebayo here, a 26% defensive rebound rate in this split, and an 18% or 18.5% total rebound opportunity. So little good look there for Adebayo. I know 10 rebounds may seem like a lot here, but it does boost his rebound potential. I'd be on the fence here about that. These are all guys that I want some fantasy point exposure to, because Adebayo's another one of those solid defenders that'll probably give us 2+ implied stocks. So I hope fantasy points comes, and if we can get Adebayo at a line of less than 45, I'd be a buyer, because I get him right now at 52. It seems like every time there's no Butler, I get a juiced projection on Adebayo. And then what are we thinking about Lowry assists? They have him at 7.5. Just mentioned his assist rate goes to almost 30%. That's pretty well attackable. I just know that it feels like the last couple times we've attacked Lowry's assist, it has been not a fun ride. So I'd be okay if you wanted to sit that one out. And then the other guy I'd be thinking about is Tyler Hero real points, but we do not have any Tyler Hero props. So I guess the baseline guy I want to talk about, I guess, is Adebayo. Would you get behind some Adebayo numbers?
Yeah. I could get with his PRA or his points.
I have Adebayo right now at 37.25 PRA, so that would actually be 5 above theirs. You rarely get a big jump like that from my projections and theirs.
Yeah, your projections on the PRA are usually spot on with PrizePicks PRA.
All right, so then immediately I'd type Bam.
So I mean, I assume it'll be a large gap on your projection for fantasy and theirs.
Yeah, I don't know what's it, like. I'm always, anytime Jimmy's out, my numbers go nuts for Adebayo.
Yeah.
And like I usually am never disappointed, so I don't understand why my algorithm's that much different. Let's see what what ODDSJAM's reporting on PRA for Bam Adebayo. By the way, if you guys want to use ODDSJAM for your own research, there's a link in the description below. Get clicked up, and it's a really convenient tool. So they have them at 33.5 PRA, which is consistent.
Hey, we're gonna discount on PrizePick then.
So yeah, it looks okay. So we're already gonna discount versus the line here. There's juice on the under there, but my projections have the over. Let me see something on Adebayo, Bam Adebayo, FTP by game log without Jimmy Butler let's go last 10 games. These are all guys I want fantasy lines on.
We'll get it.
Hopefully.
Same thing happened last when we did a Sunday stream. They dropped an hour before. You just have to you have to look out. You have to be ready if you want fantasy an hour before.
Yeah. Last game was under 40, but it was only 25 minutes. I imagine it's a lopsided game against OKC. 33 minutes against Minnesota. We saw, what is that? 20, 30, 31 and a half. What is it? Yeah. I like it. Let's get caught up on chat before we move on. Barton's now questionable. Yikes. Will Barton Q-Tag now might help Jokic a shade. It might help. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt Jokic. Jokic is fine. But I think that would help maybe Bones Highland if they gave him some extra run here. I don't know what the starting lineup would be. We've seen them start Austin Rivers at times. But Bones Highland seems like the most talented guard in their rotation right now. It would also help Monte Morris, who's been a point per minute without Barton this year. So, again, that game is that game's not on this slate, right? Nuggets, that's the Lakers game that's about to lock in an hour. So, with Barton now questionable, let me see if you guys are targeting that game. I'm pretty sure on a recent stretch where Barton was out, we were going after Monte Morris almost daily. But I do think Monte Morris has kind of evolved to where his lines aren't as free, 25. Let's go on-off. I'm going to put Monte, Jokic on, and I'm going to take off Barton. And this is going to be season-long stats, but I think it's fine for what we're looking for here.
Yeah, I'm curious at his assist rate.
For Monte? Okay.
Yeah.
Jokic, Morris on, Will Barton off. Monte has a 22% assist rate and just about a fantasy point per minute. And then Monte Morris, FTP by game log without Will Barton. Let's go last 10 games on that. 28. So there's here's the magic number. There's only one game where he scored less than 27 fantasy points. It was 22 against the Clippers in 34 minutes. And the special line here is 25. So there's only one game, and now it's the Lakers. So I would probably co-sign this Morris fantasy point prop, knowing that it's the Lakers, no LeBron, and potentially no Will Barton. But, of course, that is more so contingent on Will Barton being out. That locks in an hour, so if you do want to take action on that, you might have to do it sooner than later. Okay.
You could get down with this 4.5 assists, too.
You like that? All right, let me see what the assist lines have been. 4, 7, 8.
We'll soak up assists on some plays, just depending. They switch off on who's running the play.
Game is in Toronto. Maybe Butler and Vincent are not vaccinated. You think so? It's definitely possible. Butler played one game up through the season. Never mind. Okay. Adebayo assist is nice at 3. It's really just 3? I didn't even pay attention to that. That's a good call.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I'll type that down as an alt too. Alt assist. I don't mind it. Josh, you really work on Sundays, bro?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Warriors, Kings. 2-2-2 and another one, 2 is our total. Warriors came out and played.
It was a 3-point contest, that game.
Bruh, Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson.
Klay had 17 attempts. And I said in the first video, I was like, the night before that one, I was like, watch Klay. I mean, he could come out after that terrible game and make 5+ threes. It's just been a season in a nutshell, man. The guy's so up and down, so inconsistent this season.
Well, how about this? Just a 5.5 point spread against the Kings. And Kings have been not great on defense. Davion Mitchell has been one of our Cinderellas to attack day by day. And then the Warriors. You know what I've been finding on the Warriors, the last couple of Warriors slates, is that my PRA is typically higher than the line for Draymond and Andrew Wiggins. Lately, it was yesterday specifically, it was way higher than the line for Draymond. So it was one of the only 4 plays I gave out yesterday. Which, by the way, they all hit, Josh. All right, when I fill in for you, I have a pretty good hit rate. But when you put for yesterday on PrizePicks.
Cool.
We did Kyrie fantasy points. We did Drummond fantasy points. We did Draymond Green PRA. I forget what the other one was. I think it was 3s on Zach LaVine. Yeah, it was 2.5 threes on LaVine. All hit. Never.
You take the day off yesterday?
No, I couldn't. I took the day off from content, but we got subscribers and I got obligations to satisfy subscribers.
Oh yeah, nice.
But I mean, it was like at school it was like a half a day, right? It didn't feel like I was doing work. It was just whatever. Anyway, for this game though, I do want to immediately key in on what the line is for Draymond versus what I had, because I've been noticing I'm way higher on Draymond lately. I didn't see any flurries about Draymond resting or any of these guys resting here. Wouldn't shock me. But I have Draymond at 25.25. So let's see what the line is for Draymond. We don't have lines. Okay, cool. Lit. F me, right? No lines on the Kings. So we can, however, anticipate the line from. And this is another thing that is really beneficial to have ODDSJAM chat is 90% to 99% of the lines that are going to end up on PrizePicks are coming straight from your average line from the books, maybe straight from Pinnacle, and you can prepare for what might be available. So in this case, since we don't have Warriors lines officially, and I would be interested in looking at what is up there for PRA for Draymond Green, I can just go see what's on the books, and then I'll keep an eye on that for PrizePicks. They don't have any. Is there like a slew of Warriors news here? Because they don't have any Warriors lines on the books either. I think it's because it's a back-to-back, right?
Yeah, I think they just want to make sure because it's a back-to-back that no one's gonna rest. But I mean, they're fighting to lock in that 3 seed, and they need the Mavs to lose today. So.
Okay. Well. But yeah, so that's why PrizePicks doesn't have them, because there is none. All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that, indubitably. All right,
we have the Kings, though.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Davion Mitchell is talking point number 1. We don't have a fantasy line on Davion Mitchell. All we have on the board is Damian Jones. We have points, rebounds, and PRA. We have Harrison Barnes and Davion Mitchell. That is it. Yep. Davion Mitchell's at 7.5 assists, and that's a line that he has been clearing in his last 4 games. 2 of those games against a fast-paced, no-defense Rockets team, and then 19.5 real points, which he has cleared in all but his last game. And I didn't watch that second Rockets game to break down the film like you do, but I know the first game, the second half, they were trapping him. Did they just end up trapping him the whole game, and that's why he scored, almost half of what he had been in this spot?
Oh, on the second game? No,
yeah.
he just shot bad. He was like 1 for 10 or something like that. His shot was off, so he just looked to pass. And Harrison Barnes was on fire, so he was knocking down his shots, and then Damian Jones started picking it up in the second half. So yeah, he cleared his assists pretty easily. But no, I mean, I like it again today as assist prop, and I definitely like Damian Jones in a revenge game. Warriors drafted him, they tried to develop him, and they gave up on him.
Ooh.
And it's his time to shine. This last stretch of games, this last week. So as long as he could keep his hands to himself, he did get into early foul trouble that last Rockets game. We got nervous. We were real scared because he picked up 2 fouls like literally in 3 minutes. One of them shouldn't have counted, should have gone against someone else. Yeah, it's the only concern with him. But I like him. I like his rebound potential in this game a lot. I like his point potential. So ideally we'd go fantasy because he does have block upside.
Mm-hmm.
But so I would hold out for the fantasy. It will drop later in the day. But just because I like his point and rebound potential so much. And then Harrison Barnes. I might consider his 3-point prop because the Warriors cannot defend the corner 3, and that's where Barnes gets a lot of his threes.
Damian Jones, I have him for 13.1 real points, 8.3 rebounds. Both of those numbers are about in line with PrizePicks. I do have the over on the hook, essentially. And then, yeah, you said Harrison Barnes, 3-point prop. Has he been chucking with efficiency as of late? 6'4", 8'6".
He just lives up the corner 3, and that's like the Warriors' main weakness hole.
All right.
So
10 for 20 again. Weakness hole. Careful now.
Yeah.
Careful.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, hey, as long as you know, you said it, not me. That's their main weakness hole is corner 3s. Chat. So you want to attack their weakness hole.
The only issue is, some games he just won't take them any because of guys like Trey Lyles who take a lot of threes, and then when Dante checks in, he's a ball hog, and because when he gets the ball, he's like, oh man, I don't get the ball often, so he just ends up shooting a lot of threes as well. But it's only 1.5.
Yeah.
So if you just need him to hit 2 corner 3s, that's it.
All right. What else we got here? We got Clippers and the Pelicans to cap off the slate. No big news from this one. Looks like what we see is what we get. When it comes to the Western Conference standings, the Pelicans, they handle business against the Lakers. Even saw some questionable not want to say comments, but why does it seem like every week we're getting a clip of some guy talking trash to LeBron James? And we got that clip with Brandon Ingram. We're like, come on, dog. You played 5 games. Relax. It's just you talking all that noise. But anyway, the Clippers and the Pelicans are your 8th and 9th seed, but the Clippers are pretty well nestled in. They're not going forward. They're not going backwards. So while it's fun to play this game out, see what happens, it means more for the Pelicans than it does for the Clippers. The Pelicans are holding off the Spurs, who are holding off the Lakers, and the Lakers without LeBron today seems like we're dang near locked in here. So we are playing with a little bit of unknown, but it seems at least reasonable to expect the Pelicans to play a little bit more motivated than the Clippers here. Although by the time this game tips off, the Lakers will probably have lost already. And then, there's a little bit more of a safe feeling within the Pelicans and their seeding. So I'll say, looking at PrizePicks and what they have on the board for the Pelicans.
Wait, so if the Lakers lose today, they're done?
I don't. Let's see. They're 31-46. I think maybe if
why
they
is LeBron not playing? Is he really that injured?
It must be. I don't know that they're. I think they are. Chat, help me out. Are they officially eliminated with the L today and a Spurs and Pelicans win? I feel like the answer is yes. So it would be at 77 games. I guess maybe not. There would be what five maybe not. Yeah, but it would basically be. It would basically be the nail in the coffin, but not officially, I think. And yes, LeBron not playing today makes you think that there's something really wrong, because it's one thing for LeBron to play and say, all right, we're done, but AD's still playing. So if they are throwing in the towel, they would probably just hit everybody,
Yeah.
But anyway, is there anything that you like here? I think the Pelicans have been one of those teams that are hard to predict pre-flop, and the Clippers, the Clippers at least indicated that it seemed like they're just going to try and find this chemistry for their rotations going into the playoffs, but they're also not, they just full rested everybody in that, was that Thunder game where Rocco dropped 40 real points, because that's a thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so is this a game you expect to stay away from?
Yeah, maybe there's a couple I could get on, like Paul George's 3-point prop. He's averaging around 8 attempts on the season, or the 20-something odd games he played in the beginning of the season, and then when his first 2 games back, he's taken like 8 to 10 threes. I think he's just gonna chuck it to try to warm up and be lazy from the 3-point line. Both him and Reggie Jackson last game took, I think, 9 threes each.
Yeah.
I could get on that, but although he was cold that last game and he went 2-9, so it's not like a confident click because of that risk factor of him being cold and not being fully caught up to game speed. But that would probably be it for him. They juiced his assist prop to 5 now, for 4.5. And him and Reggie just seem to alternate who's the ball handler and who's the distributor. Yeah. So that kind of makes it risky. Yeah, I mean, I want to target guys like J-Val and Hayes. But yeah, just the unknowns kind of make me concerned. Yeah. What do you think about them?
No, I'm with you. It's theoretically those guys make sense, but I just think on this slate, there's enough options where I don't need to take the risk of the unknown. The other night, Cade Cunningham and Isaiah Stewart, that hurt. And that stings. And that stays with me. You know what I mean?
Wait, you talking about Dwayne Casey at April 4th?
Yeah, when they started and played 5-6 minutes and they were down. And it was just like, well, why did you do that? If you're going to take the time to rule out Bagley and Olynyk and Kojo.
So are you trying to speak this into existence with the Pelicans?
That's not what I'm trying to do. No, what I'm saying is
it might happen. Any
team that could have, I mean, I guess every team could rest some people right now, but the teams that you just don't know, and again, mathematically the Pelicans need to win So I guess that's not fair to put that on them. But with the Clippers, you truly don't know. We literally just saw them punt their whole game.
Well, if the Lakers win, then would you be more inclined to click on a Pelican?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and if that's the case, then
But also like if the Lakers lose, they're still not out of it. It's just really really tough.
Yeah.
But they have a two, like if the Pelicans, because the Spurs are gonna win, right? They're 14-point favorites, so they'll be one game back of the Pels. So I guess no matter what, Pelicans need to win. That's what I was saying.
Okay, well then I like J-Val a lot in this matchup, obviously against the Clippers, and then Ingram, he's been really distributing it all season long, and his assist prop's still under 6, so I could get on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. All right, there we go. That is our slate. So we got through that, and for someone who didn't get here till 15 minutes in, we got through a lot. But I also think it's thanks to PrizePicks not having much up. Because I do think we want to look at Suns. We want to some more fantasy props being up. So hopefully in the next couple of hours, some of those lines will start to develop. So what we'll do is we'll have you sit in with me and Coach, and you'll keep an eye on those lines that we're waiting on. And as they pop up, as we go game by game, you feel free to interject, and then we'll address it as needed. So, chat, the schedule for today is after this stream, me and Coach are going to jump on. Josh is going to stick around. We're going to go through these games from a FanDuel and DraftKings point of view as well. But we're still going to have Josh around here to keep an eye on the prop lines that are coming out, some news that are coming out. We'll throw it to him for analysis, stuff like that. And then remember, it is an early lock today, so the schedule's a little bit wonkier. We're going to try to get it all in. If you're not in the free Discord, 100% free, there's a link in the description below. Get into the Discord. You guys have been crushing it. By the way, Dwight Howard is starting with Anthony Davis and Avery Bradley and Malik Monk and Russell Westbrook. Twin Towers. But get into that free Discord. You guys have made this community really, really awesome. Over 300 of you guys already. Get in there. Be part of the community. Just bring the right vibes, and we would love to have you. And then, of course, those of you guys that are channel members here, we do have members-only channels in this free Discord as well. A couple times a week, we'll post a full-on prop detector. And then if you want access to the premium stuff, the premium projections, the prop detector, our favorite props every day, while we do post it periodically in the free stuff, it is every day. I usually get 1 day off a week. Usually on Sundays, but every day we post the prop detector past that, and you guys can access that freely along with my projections in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, which you can get through behind the paywall at RunDFS.com. And then we still have that MLB season pass up, $300 gets you locked in till October 5th, and that's not just for baseball, that's for everything. By the way, if you use coupon code MAD, as in Mad Scientist, MAD, get 10% off any one of those. That's just for this weekend, so check that out. So let's answer any questions you guys might have, and then let's roll out of here. Let's get Coach on, and then we'll start the DFS show. Skimmer says, my Lakers are done, 1.4% chance to make the playoffs.
I'm not laughing at you, Skimmer. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the Lakers situation.
So you're telling me there's a chance. LeBron is a cancer. Come on, man. The LeBron hate's out of pocket, bro. We hate the GOAT. We hate him. Lakers are 1 game behind Spurs for the final spot in the play-in. Yeah. So if the Spurs are implied heavily to win today, it's even, and the Lakers end up losing to the Nuggets, which is very possible. It makes that seem like it's a lock to die, right? 112% free Discord. It's very free. Although I guess it wouldn't be 112% because there is like a channel that is for paid. So it's like 95% free, right? I don't know. Math. Lakers don't have any tiebreakers. It's over. It's over. I'm sorry, Skimmer. It's all right. Skimmer, that'll, you can focus on baseball, bro. The Dodgers look pretty good. They traded AJ Pollock. It's all good. Anyway, we'll be back in a couple minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you're out of here, you're not joining the DFS show, hey, that's cool. just hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're subbed. The road to AK begins, man. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money. I see most of you guys, again, just a few minutes. We're going to have to get a group chat with Coach and then fire it up over there.
Okay.
Yeah.